Bitcoin's price, $104,000. We've been watching James Wynn lose a grand total of, if we just check on it, he's actually up 80k in the past 24 hours. But over the past however long, down pretty bad, and over the past week, down really bad. So that's what we spent the past week doing. However, today we're going to check in on what the largest and most successful traders are doing on Hyperliquid, and we're going to kind of assess what their positions are, as well as, of course, checking in on the price of Bitcoin, of which I've got a bunch of trades open right now. I actually opened this new position on Blast, and the reason I opened that position is this is the monthly chart, and it's only ever gone down. It probably can only continue to go down. However, there is a small chance that the altcoin market suddenly makes a resurgence and this suddenly looks like a good idea. Although I doubt it looking at the charts right now. So that position, again, it's only tiny. We're going to discuss a bunch of things, new trades, new everything, and of course discussing today's crypto news. So if you're interested in what's to come, drop a like on the video. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Turn on those channel notifications. And I know most people I'd subscribe to the main channel, but most people aren't subscribed to this channel. This is a different channel. This is now the main channel, and the old channel is in YouTube jail. For whatever reason, YouTube have just I don't know, they just keep giving that channel strikes. So we're on this one now anyway. Drop a like, subscribe. Most of you, you all drop likes. Like if you look at the like ratio on my videos, it's insane. So I really do appreciate that. So please do keep pressing that button, because maybe one day YouTube does something nice for me. Either way, this is the price of Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart, and we have kind of lost this level of support at this point in time. However, it is a weekend, so don't read too deeply into it. We need to be holding this level, because if we don't hold this level, then the targets become a lot lower. One of the things that's got me slightly concerned right now is if we go up to the daily chart, we can see that the oscillator tool is really starting to dramatically drop to the downside, and that tells us typically when that happens, a big move is on the horizon and it's probably going to go to the downside. Don't forget, are we at the end of May? Yeah, 1st of June. Sell in May and go away. Is that about to be a thing? Well, maybe. It could. Imagine if it was, and imagine that you should have just sold everything in May and then the next 3 months are terrible. That wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, because typically summers in crypto are quite terrible. However, let's look at what the top traders on Hyperliquid are doing. And what is everyone doing? He's short. He's got a balance of 13 million. He's got a balance of 31 million. He's also short. This guy's got 18 million. He's also short. He's got quite a large long position on 10x, but what you're seeing here is people that are responsible traders trading with smaller leverage. You can see this guy's trading with like 0.8x leverage. This guy's trading with 1x leverage. This guy's trading with 1x leverage. This guy that's got 20 million is on 10x and is in the degenerate long position. This guy's using 2x. This guy's using 2x. So you can kind of gauge what kind of trader they are. This guy's probably a higher risk trader. These guys are lower risk traders. But you can see scrolling through here on the list of top traders, predominantly most big accounts are short. Most big money in crypto right now is starting to open short positions, which is something that we should be paying attention to, and it's something that we shouldn't try and fight if it does end up happening, because you'll make a lot more money going short on these markets than what you will longing. My longs currently, they're all kind of toasted. They're not really in massive losses, and they're not in massive profits either. We've got 171k in the balance now. We made it a high watermark yesterday at 180k, so you can see here we started last week with 78. If we go on the 30-day chart, this account here, we started with really not so much money, and we've been quite aggressively rallying it to the upside since. So it's been a very profitable month. And hopefully we can continue these good results by literally just being realistic. People say that I flip-flop on things. I don't. I place short-term trades to make short-term profits. And short-term profits compounded make a lot more money than trying to place one position and hold on to it for 6 months until you get liquidated. That tends to be the current trading strategy for the majority of people in crypto. Don't do that. Place a trade, try and exit it within a few hours. You can see my evidence here is the longer you hold on to something, the less money you're going to make. Now, I'm very lucky that I took profits on these trades here, so I'm not losing any money at all. And that's how you make money in this game. Take profits early, bank a win, and then move on to the next trade. That's what we do. So, having discussed that, what is the next trade for us to be taking, and should we be closing these long positions? And I think the answer to that might be a yes, but we need to get into it a little bit deeper. So this is the 5-minute chart. I think that probably today we'll experience another bounce and another rally back to the upside. I'm still kind of expecting to get back up to $106,000. And the reasoning for that is because it wouldn't make sense to get fully rejected before you at least make a retest of the high of the range before making a retest of the low of the range and eventually breaking to the downside. So even if we do break to the downside, I would say that it's more likely, just especially given the recent bullish sentiment, given everything, Michael Saylor will probably buy a bunch of Bitcoin today. You'll see in today's news section that he's going to do some stuff again, because he always does. He's like the big Bitcoin man that everybody knows about these days, despite him treating Bitcoin like a giant Ponzi. We don't want to lose this support level. As soon as we'll come back up, we'll retest probably 106, something like that, at this range here, and then eventually get rejected to the downside, would be my expectations, and then back down to the mid-90s, I think is a pretty realistic expectation. And then probably, if I was to draw just a general rough line, I'd say something like this, properly nuke it down, probably to like, maybe even that level, bounce all the way back up, and then just slowly meander around in this range throughout summer, and then probably make, I mean, when would this be? This would be the end of July, maybe? End of June. That seems like a somewhat realistic chart pattern that you might expect to see. It's not me saying it'll happen, but I would just expect probably more downside before we have any kind of upside. That does definitely seem more realistic. When it comes to Ethereum, again, same thing. ETH has had a massive run-up recently, and no one seems to respect quite how aggressive this run-up has been, and that ultimately makes it more likely to drop down. It did 100% in just 50 days. Now, that's a big growth for Ethereum. But since that point in time, if I run over to the Ethereum Bitcoin dominance chart, you can see that basically Ethereum has lost, this is the weekly chart, but Ethereum has lost a lot of the gains that it had made. If I go over to the 4 hour here, reset that scale there, you can see pretty much it had a huge rally up against Bitcoin, and then it came down again. It's starting to come down again. But you got to remember the overall trend here, even after recent massive pumps that we'd had, it still continued its downtrend. So ETH is still in an overall downtrend, and until it breaks that overall downtrend, ETH will continue to trend down against Bitcoin. When it comes to something like Solana, I'm marginally worried about the Solana thing right now, just because of my decision the other day to convert all of the balance of the unified trading account here into Solana. If you look here, I got $98,000. Yesterday I had $101,000. I'm contemplating if that was the correct decision or not. When I put the money in, it was worth round about 100k. It wasn't bob on 100k, it was round about 100k. So I'm down a little bit on that, and I'm down a little bit on the Ethereum that I purchased the other day as well. Everything else in this wallet you can ignore, don't read too deeply into it. Now, if we're looking at, oh, that's Bitcoin. If we look at the S&P is going to open on Monday, and we don't have any pre-market for it yet. But this is basically what's going to lead the markets going into the next week. If the S&P on Monday opens bullish, markets will pump. If it opens bearish, it's game over, markets are going to drop, and it's probably going to be quite an aggressive downside week. The reason I say this is because a lot of people don't really expect a downside week. A lot of people are still in very much the May bullish mentality. I understand it. I really do. But you also have to switch sides quite frequently this year to make money. If you held bullish all the time, you probably didn't make any money. And if you held bearish all the time, you probably didn't make any money. If you switched between the two quite frequently, you did make quite a lot of money. And so I would just suggest having an agile opinion on what you think can happen in the markets at this moment in time. Now, as I said, we was checking back in on James Wynn. James has not got any trades open right now. I'll let you know next time James Wynn opens a trade, and we'll keep an eye on it, because this guy, he either goes up a lot or down a lot. It's very entertaining though. Now, bullish BlackRock has bought over $200 million worth of Ethereum this week. They're definitely preparing for a staking approval. This is news that broke today, but we know this for certain. BlackRock keeps buying. The question is, who's buying? Now, in one of these news sections here, I'm pretty sure that it's this one right here. Nearly 1 million Bitcoin addresses now hold more than one Bitcoin. Not every millionaire is going to be able to own one Bitcoin, which is true. But I tend to see news headlines like this, like this, like this, like this. Saylor wanting to talk Bitcoin with Joe Rogan. You see these kinds of headlines at peaks. You don't see these kinds of headlines. And I really feel like the crypto industry is very much, it front loads everything. So the news breaks in crypto before it breaks in any other industry, and it percolates a lot faster than it does in any industry. What I mean by this is we tend to see bullish, 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 and then overnight, boom, bearish, 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 bearish in terms of news articles. We've been seeing a lot of bullish everything, everywhere recently. It's been non-stop bullish, bullish, bullish. It's probably going to end unless it continues. But I think it's heading towards an end. And the reason that I think that is, it's sell in May and go away. Don't ignore history. History has said that's what you should do. So just pay attention to that fact. Someone just bought $56 million worth of Bitcoin on Binance. Again, you're seeing these big wallets come through. It's likely just Michael Saylor. Michael buys a lot of Bitcoin. But is it healthy? And this is my point about Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin healthy if one person owns 2% of the supply? No, it's not. And is Bitcoin more useful because of Michael Saylor? No, he's just increasing the scarcity aspect of Bitcoin, but he's actually reducing how interesting it is to retail investors. He's increasing how interesting it is to institutional investors, but without retail investors, Bitcoin doesn't have half the value that it used to have, because Bitcoin used to be the tool of a retail investor. It used to be the whole purpose of it was defeat the banks. When you bring the banks into crypto, you undermine everything that crypto was built for. So therefore, from my perspective, as a retail investor, you reduce the value of the core asset. So I think we need a bit of a shake up in the old institutional ranks. I'm sure that in the long term, they'll just continue to buy more and more and more of it. But for me, that makes it less and less and less interesting. So it's all about finding the next cryptocurrency that is going to replace Bitcoin, to be honest, because Bitcoin is becoming an institutional darling. And I don't like institutional darlings. That's why I got into Bitcoin. So we need to find something else. I don't know what that is, but it's not Ethereum. Or maybe it's Solana. But then Solana is like the ultimate degenerate chain. Either way, yeah, Bitcoin right now, it's in an interesting spot for sure. We'll do a quick little bit of looking at it on the low time frame, see how it's getting on with regards to the oscillator. In fact, you know what we'll do? We'll load up the 15 minutes and see if Stonksy has fired off any trades here. So not recently there. What about on the 1 hour? Are we in any short positions? No. As soon as this fires off a short position though on the 1 hour, I will not be betting against it. I'll be betting in favor of it. You can see historically Stonksy's long positions here. They make a lot of money when it goes long. And to be honest, it's also pretty good on the short side as well. It's been a really amazing, accurate indicator for me as Stonksy that's actually significantly improved my trading. And if you don't already have a copy of it, you should go to the website right now. I'll give it a refresh and we'll scroll down. And bosh, you should get, if you want the oscillator, get that one. Price goes up tomorrow. If you want to try monthly, which includes the oscillator, and it also includes the color change, which is basically signals, then use that one. But it's honestly, it's amazing. Especially on low time frames for scalp trading, you won't find a better indicator. Other than that though, guys, have we got anything else left to discuss? Well, I mean, just market open tomorrow, isn't it? Oh, you know what we should check on? We should check on liquidation heat map. So this is the Bitcoin liquidation heat map. Let's just double check that we don't need to refresh this anymore. I'm pretty sure it should be on the correct numbers. Yes, it is. We've got a big level down here at 100K. Big level up here above 110. That one looks like more of a magnet. That one I suggest is the one that's probably going to hit. I'm mildly concerned about my own positioning because I might have gone into Solana too soon, but I'm not going to change anything. If I do change anything, I will update you immediately on Twitter. Now, don't forget as well, you can join my Telegram group. It's completely free. You'll find a link for it in the video description. TMG Trenches. You'll find it down there. And of course, if you want to start trading, learn to trade today, use BYBIT, get yourself a BYBIT card as well, because when you actually do make money, you can spend it. I've made a bunch of money. I mean, can I refresh this? You can see it's all real. I made a bunch of money from using BYBIT card here. And yeah, just from spending money, I've got paid $4,000. So it's pretty nice. Either way, have a great day, everybody. Thank you all for watching. Check out the links and information in today's video description. If you've not used BYBIT before, try it out. If you're in the UK, you can't use it. Same for US. However, you can use Blowfin, and you'll find a link for Blowfin down there as well. Use a VPN when you're accessing Blowfin, and if you don't have a VPN, you'll also find a one linked down there. ExpressVPN, I've been using it for 8-9 years now. It is the best VPN in my opinion. Check it out. Found everything in today's video description. Thank you all for watching. See you in a bit. Bye-bye.